Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. Now, in this video, I'm also going to talk about China trying to de-dollar the US. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the World Economic Forum. It looks like they might be losing some relevance, losing some power throughout the world. So let's take a look. The world's largest oil exporter, which has maintained a currency peg to the dollar for decades, is seeking to strengthen its relations with crucial trade partners, including China. Saudi Arabia says it's open to settling trade in other currencies, other than the US dollar. I believe the US really needs to wake up. Our president is asleep at the wheel at this point. The rest of the world is still pushing forward. China will launch a gold exchange open to foreign players for the first time on Thursday. A successful take-up could see more gold priced and paid for in yuan rather than the US dollar, challenging the traditional dominance of London and New York in trading. Asia, which accounts for about two-thirds of global gold consumption, has long been clamoring to gain pricing power over bullion, although previous efforts have failed to win investors back. But at least they're still trying to push forward. And this needs to be brought to someone's attention before it's too late. Because if they're going to de-dollarize the US dollar is definitely going to plummet in value at some point. Russia, China, and Iran taking the initial steps to stand up a gold-backed currency to directly encroach upon the US dollar's global hedge money. Interesting to see how this plays out. Could fizzle out like a dud and do nothing more than slightly impact the price. And we see here physical gold and silver preparing to attack the US dollar. Russia, Iran, and China gold-backed. And I still believe we're pushing towards a gold-backed system. That's why the central banks are buying up massive amounts of gold as well. Corrupt Vladimir Zelensky brings in globalist BlackRock CEO Larry Fink to coordinate Ukraine's money laundering. Now, I couldn't even believe this when I read it. The latest round of You Can't Make This Up has Ukraine's corrupt president Vladimir Zelensky playing perfect puppet for the globalists by bringing in woke financial juggernaut BlackRock to coordinate their massive money laundering scheme, a program referred to by corporate media as recovery efforts. So once FTX fell, they lost their money laundering scheme. So now what are they doing? Bringing in BlackRock so they can continue on with money laundering through the Ukraine. Ukraine's so-called First Lady could do more to help Kiev by not spending so damn much money on her Paris shopping sprees. No more money for the Ukraine. Save America first. Ukraine's First Lady tells Davos elites, you must do more to support Kiev. So, here in the US, most people are fed up with the Ukraine because we look around, we see homeless people here. We see people that can barely feed their families. Yet every time we turn around, this president wants to send more money over there, more of our money, our tax money. And at this point, most people know what the Ukraine's all about. It's corrupt. Even George Soros has his headquarters there. Think about that. And the only people really hurting in all this is the Ukrainian people because they have such poor leadership. They need to take down Zelensky. And then we would be more than happy to send money there if it's going to the Ukrainian people to help them out. I'm sure some of them are suffering as well. Disgraced CNN anchor Brian Stelter hosts panel on media disinformation at World Economic Forum, claims U.S. has a lot to learn from European internet regulation. Now, this is funny because I believe CNN has been getting all their information from BlackRock for a long time. Their news probably comes directly from BlackRock or the World Economic Forum. But it's also Fox News. They won't talk about CBDCs. I remember whenever the BlackRock commercials would come up, when they went to commercial, they never even mentioned the Great Reset. All of a sudden, the BlackRock commercials disappeared. Now some anchors on Fox talk about the Great Reset. On Tuesday, disgraced former CNN anchor took to the stage at the World Economic Forum's annual meeting to chair a panel on disinformation. The panelists claimed that the spread of fake news was among the greatest threats currently facing society and praised Europe for its strict internet regulations. When they talk about disinformation, they don't want me or you talking, period. They want to keep us quiet. We learn about something and we share it with each other. They don't want that happening. They want to push forward with their agenda. Analyst Davos draws record crowds, but its relevance is fading. CNN Business. Economic pendulums shift throughout history, said Furore, who is also a CNN analyst. Every time the pendulum shifts too far, which it clearly has, it starts to shift back a bit. Some core elements of globalization remain intact. The digital transformation of economies makes it easier for money and ideas to move across borders. The same, unfortunately, goes for viruses and other diseases. International cooperation is essential to solve food shortages and keep high stakes climate goals within reach. It's basically too simple to say it's an era of globalization or an era of deglobalization. A professor of international relations at Vienna School of International Studies says it's an in-between era. So at this point, the pendulum could go either way. But it looks like maybe the World Economic Forum is losing some of its power a little bit. Spokespersons at World Economic Forum say the Great Reset, eating insects instead of meat, and you'll own nothing and be happy are conspiracy theorists, but they're not. In fact, all of them originated at Davos and from World Economic Forum's own website, but now the World Economic Forum is deleting them. So why are they taking all of this stuff down now? Because we're talking about it now. Because people are pointing it out now. Now Klaus is worried that his agenda may fail. Part of the reason you can't trust anything the media says about the World Economic Forum is because the World Economic Forum has literally bought them off with partnerships. World Economic Forum is a propaganda platform for global elites and corporate media to transition us to a low energy, poorer world. Reuters partners with the World Economic Forum. Plus, giving away their depopulation agenda in his opening speech at World Economic Forum 23. Our generation has reached a turning point confronted by existential problems, climate change, wars, poverty, and viruses. They can all lead to an extinction of large parts of the global population. Now, if he comes out and talks about this openly, and yet people still believe we're conspiracy theorists. It comes right from his mouth. It's not conspiracy theory, it's his agenda. It's two different things. So if the World Economic Forum is losing power, maybe their agenda doesn't happen. What about XRP? What about CBDCs? Let's talk about that for a minute. CBDCs have the potential to revolutionize global financial systems and may be the most significant technological advancement in the history of money. Global crypto and digital asset strategist, Bank of America. And we know Bank of America is ready to go live with on-demand liquidity once this case ends. EU finance ministers say digital euro must offer privacy. Eurogroup members laid out priorities for the CBDC and should the ECB decide to press ahead with it, the actual issuance of a digital euro would depend on the outcome of EU legislation. So it looks like some countries are concerned about privacy. So I still believe CBDCs are coming, one way or another, even if Klaus's agenda fails. But maybe these CBDCs end up in good hands. Maybe privacy laws are put in place first, because we do need to fix SWIFT one way or another. UK Treasury Minister says wholesale stablecoin will precede CBDC. This is what I've been saying all along. If we invest in XRP, maybe we could enrich ourselves before a CBDC even rolls out. Because if XRP is a stablecoin backed by gold, it has to be high priced, a high priced stablecoin. So that would make us all rich. Then what would come next is the CBDC. So XRP mentioned as stablecoin by the World Bank, International Bank for Reconstructing and Development in CBDC report for cross-border payments. And they mentioned XRP directly. That's why I said maybe XRP becomes a high-valued stablecoin. We enrich ourselves. Then what comes next is the CBDC. And because we have money, we can go on with life as normal. That's my theory on it all. Digital asset term sneaks in CBDCs and bait and switch uniparty move under McCarthy. Light private crypto regulation is useful to bring corporate money. Some people are just getting as much about pushing programmable government CBDC surveillance and control currency. Now, here in the US, they're going to push ahead, and I believe what's going to happen is they're going to fast track regulations. Most likely, those regulations aren't going to be the right regulations. And they're just going to roll them out quick so they could roll out the CBDC quick. We're going to have to wait and see how that all plays out. But I know they're never going to get a CBDC through with a vote. They're going to have that emergency situation. That's why I said I still believe the US dollar will collapse as well, pushing all crypto and the stock market to all-time highs. So we see here CBDCs around the world to test innovative ways to power cross-border payments utilizing XRP and Ripple. I'm telling you, 2023 is going to be a big year. We're going to see announcement after announcement. XRP, in my opinion, is going to see an all-time high in 2023. Still, people say 2024 is the year, but I believe they're basing that on previous cycles. I think we see something bigger coming. It's hard to even put into words how big this new financial system is going to be. It's the fourth industrial revolution, and it's here. It has already begun. We invested in the right way. This fourth industrial revolution will enrich all of us. It's just a matter of time. But like I said, the time now is to be patient and wait. I believe we're closer than we think, and I think this is going to be a lot bigger than we think. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.